Hey everyone, it's Cynthia. I know I had spoken about doing a video showing how I use my Erin Condren Petite meal planner on my Instagram, and it sounds like some people were interested, so this is that video. So if you're one of those folks, I hope you enjoy watching this. So I got my Erin Condren Petite meal planner back in February when I attended the West Coast Planners event, Planners Rock. And the team at Erin Condren did a video, or excuse me, a presentation on meal planning, and they gave all of us one of these meal planners. So I had been using, I think, a Recollections meal planner before that, and then before that I was using a bullet journal, but it just was taking too much time to set up every single week, so I just wanted to do something that was kind of already set up. So the Recollections started that journey for me of using, you know, something that was already in a notebook and taken care of. But then I got this one, and for some reason this one just worked better for me, so I started using the Erin Condren one. So as you can see, I've already got several weeks already filled out in here of different meal plans, and still future plans to be made, but I wanted to show you how it is that I use it in conjunction with my 80-day obsession program from Beachbody that I'm currently doing. So you'll see this is very simple. It's just pencil, so it might, hopefully it's not too hard to see, but it may be a little bit. And I use pencil just because I sometimes change my mind on things, or I want to add stuff, or I might mess up, so I do everything in pencil. This is probably one of the few areas besides my monthly that I use a pencil. And so I'll go ahead and plan out my whole week here, and then once I'm done, I assess and like write down my shopping list and try and do it by section, so like all of the produce is together, dairy and meats are together, and so on and so forth, and you know, like dry products and everything. So the let me go to a blank page so you can see what it looks like not filled out, but in each section of the meal planner it has your breakfast from Sunday through Saturday, which I kind of wish it started on Monday here and just went down the rest of the week, but I mean I've gotten used to it, so it's fine. But sometimes I definitely like have to stop and think for a second, oh, you're planning, you know, Sunday's meals, don't plan for Monday, because my meal plans during the week are a little bit different than what they are on Saturdays. Since I'm home, I have access to a stove and I can cook and do all that stuff a lot easier. So then in addition to your area where you write your meals, you have the shopping list section here, and you can fill stuff out. You can put like the date range of what week this is going to be, and then they have this meal prep strategy section. I tried using this in the beginning, but to be honest, it wasn't super useful for me, because really my meal prep strategy is I just do everything on Sunday, and I know that Sundays are for that, so besides writing down like make sure you do all your things for Sunday, I wasn't using it a ton, so I stopped using it. If I had a chance to talk to the team at Erin Condren and ask them to change something, it would be to make this section a little bit more like how the Recollections product is, which is where it's grouped by categories, because I'm mindful in putting my shopping list together based on categories, but that sometimes can get out of order if I'm just writing stuff down really quickly, and so it would be nicer to have this section a little bit more organized and you know, grouped by different areas of the grocery store. So you'll fill out all of your breakfast for the week here, your lunches here, your dinners here, and like I said, do your grocery list here, and then your meal prep strategy. So for me, since I'm eating more than 3 meals a day, you'll see I have like little dividing lines in most of my days, or pretty actually all of the days, but this is what this coming week is looking like. So I'm doing this 80-day obsession program from Beachbody, and if you're familiar with the 21-day fix program, it involves containers, and each container is represented by a color. And so I've got these Stabilo pens here, and so when I first started out, in order to be a little bit better at making sure I was getting the correct containers in the right amounts, I actually started color coding my meals. So let me see if I can bring this a little bit closer, but you can see like I did like my yellow, my green, my red, and made sure that like for this portion of the day that I made sure to indicate how many containers I was getting. I've been on the program for enough weeks that I already know, let me see, I already know what my containers are and how many I need to get in a day, so I don't do it anymore, but it was really helpful for me. And so I also, when I calculated, you know, how many containers I was going to need, I would do like my number here on a post-it and make sure that I move it from week to week, so that way I could make sure that I was getting the proper amount of containers. So the you'll see too, there's some stickers in here. So when I got the Petite meal planner at Planners Rock, I'm not sure if it comes, I'd have to check, standard with every purchase of a Petite meal planner, but you do get these meal prep stickers. The one, at least I got them when I got them at Planners Rock. So I'll like sprinkle them in, like, you know, if I'm having a shake and I know it has banana in it, I'll stick one there. If I'm dining out, I know I need to, you know, put a dining out sticker there, etc. I love the avocado stickers. I think I've used most of them up on these sheets here, but yeah, so that's if you're new to the container system from Beachbody, you know, whether you're doing 21-day fix or 80-day obsession or anything like that, these pens, or really any kind of colored pen, it might be helpful to help you make sure you're getting the proper amount of containers in a day until you can kind of get used to that routine. So back to this week. So this point, I already know how many containers I need to get. The one thing with this program is that we have timed nutrition, so we can only have certain types of foods at certain times of day. And generally speaking, the rule is that you're going to have your carbs before you work out and shortly after you work out, and then you probably aren't going to have any carbs the rest of the day, as long as you're on plan, or meal plan A, I should say. But generally you're going to try and make sure that you target your carbs to be around before and after you work out, so you can fuel your body and make sure that you're helping build that muscle. So in addition to eating several meals during the day, you do also have to be mindful of what things you're eating at what times of day. So I basically have broken up most of my days into 2 pieces apart. So this is my pre-workout meals. If I'm, you know, working out, I'll do that first, then I'll have my post-workout meal, then it'll be like a lunch, and then at some point there'll be a snack, and then like either a dinner or a late night snack if I don't have a snack here. So I'm making sure that I'm breaking my day up. You can see during the week the days are a little bit more broken up. On Sundays we can be a little bit more fluid with our containers, so I may not have 6 meals, I may, you know, squeeze an extra container into another meal and only have 5 meals that day. But I'm still making sure that I'm spreading out my meals and making sure that I eat every 2 to 3 hours. So this is how I'm using this section here. So like I said, this is generally, let me see a day when I'm working out. So Saturday, like, this would be my pre-workout meal here. I'd have some eggs with some spinach or salsa and a corn tortilla with it. Then after my workout, I'd have, you know, some grapes to help get that sugar in my body. And then shortly thereafter, I'd have my post-workout meal. And then in the afternoon, I'd have like a protein shake. And then, you know, soon before dinner, but not exactly at dinner, I'd have like my snack, which in this case would be green peppers and hummus. And then for dinner, I'd have a chicken salad. So, and then that would be my last meal of the day before I went to bed. So, you'll notice too, if you look really closely, a lot of these meals are the same thing. I like to keep it simple. I'm not a person who can eat the same thing every day for the rest of eternity, but if it's about 4 or 5 days in a row, like, I can eat the same meal. It just, in the long run, it makes my life easier, and it actually helps me be successful with my meal plan to just do everything at the same time and make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I definitely repeat meals. When I first started this out, I would just try and figure things out as I went along, and, well, what vegetable could I possibly have, or what protein should I have next? And there is a recommended food list, or not recommended, but, you know, required food list that you're supposed to stick to for this program. So what I started doing is I figured out what meals I liked best and what combinations I liked best, because of course, you know, I'm not a person who likes every vegetable or anything like that. I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I have my things that I'm picky about. So I started making a list based on the different, you know, containers that we need to get. So if I need to get a protein and a, you know, vegetable meal in, you know, before my workout, then I need to make sure that I think of as many possible combinations of that as I can, so I can A, have variety, but B, also save myself time as well. So, you know, all of this is on paper. We're all planners. We like to do stuff on paper. But what I did do is, and hopefully this doesn't wash out. but I set up like a Google Doc, and I categorized it by the type of, let me see if I can pull it up a little bit bigger, types of meals I need to get. So I need to get a red container, a green container, and a yellow container during this particular meal. So I just made a list of all the different options that I have to combine that. For my blue and green containers, my healthy fats and my veggies, things that I like that I can combine. For my protein and fruit meal, make sure that I have different options. And then also, you know, my protein, my veggie, and my orange, which is going to be like your dressings or seeds and stuff like that, all the different options that you possibly have for that. So that way it helps me save some time when I'm working on this, because otherwise I could be sitting here for hours trying to think of, well, what am I gonna have, you know, as that snack before I have lunch, that's, you know, between breakfast and lunch, but God, I really don't know what to do. This is where that comes in handy. I've figured out what works for me, and so I've been able to come up with a pretty good list of all the different things that I can possibly have, and it's gonna help me save some time. So this is what I'm doing with the Erin Condren meal planner here. If you want to see my list, if you're someone who's doing 80-day obsession, or if you are interested in doing a program like it, if you want to see my Google Doc with my meal ideas, I'd be happy to share that with you, so just feel free to send me a message. But this is what I'm using my Erin Condren meal planner for. It's really just helping me stay on track with these different meals that I have to get. And like I said, there's that color coding option that you can do that I highly recommend if you're new to a program like that. Or, you know, maybe you're not doing a program as strict as what I'm doing right now, but you want to make sure that you're counting your macros, or you're getting certain kinds of food, or you're, you know, tracking how many grams of different foods that you're doing. You know, you have plenty of space to do that in. These boxes are very generous, and you can fit, as long as you have pretty, you know, if you can have relatively small or normal size handwriting, you can definitely make use of those boxes and track that stuff. And let's say maybe this area isn't where you have enough space to do it. You can also do it here. Just keep a running list, and maybe you want to break it up by day or something like that, and you can make sure that you're counting those things there. I definitely use my Fitness Pal, and I, you know, track my Fitbit steps in my Fitbit app, but if you want to write that stuff down, you can. So this is it. This is the Erin Condren meal planner. I may do a separate video at some point to talk about how I transpose the information that I keep in here into my personal wide and pocket rings for more convenience, but that would probably be a whole nother video in and of itself that you guys don't want to have to sit through all at this time. So this is Erin Condren meal planner. These are the stickers that go along with it, and if you have any questions, please send me a message. I'd be happy to answer it for you guys.